A beautiful day, you started a new project in Android Studio. You give it your name, set up the packages and stuff. Project is building. You go to the build.gradle and what the hell is this? And also, what is this plugins? And there is a new file. What is this file? You are surprised? I was surprised as well. So I always try to keep my Android Studio updated, and we don't always start new project in Android Studio every day. So I updated my Android Studio to Iguana and created a new project after a long time, and I was surprised as you were with this new version catalog thing. So yes, it is called the version catalog. It's a TOML file, and all these things like the build.gradle.kts or build.gradle.kts in the app level, this all plugins, dependencies, all are changed to the new version, the version catalog. So what does it do? I did a little digging on this topic because I was eager to know what is going on and how does it work, and I found out some things. So right now I'm going to share you what this is and why this is happening. So this is the Gradle documentation. In here you can see about the libs.version.toml file. It's a version catalog to organize your Gradle file. So how does it work? It's a TOML file. So let's first see what a TOML file is. So TOML means Tom's obvious minimal language. It's a config file format for humans. That means it is easy to read for the humans. Like in this file you can see the title, TOML example, the owner type, the name variable Tom Preston Warner, he is actually the creator, the DOB is date of birth, database enabled or not. It's easier to read. Like for the human beings, we can read it very easily. So that was the concept of TOML. So let's go back to the documentation and see how does it work. So a TOML has 4 sections. First is the version, where you store all your versions. The second one is the library, where you store your dependencies or implementations, as we see. Third one is the bundle. It used to put a lot of dependencies together. And last one is plugin, which is obviously for the plugins. So this is an example of TOML file. We have the version first, then the libraries, bundles and plugins. We don't see bundles often, but we see plugins and other things together. And there is like more settings, for example, like which version you want, which one you prefer, which one you strictly want. But in Android we actually don't need those much of things. There is a lot of settings. We don't need that. Don't need to overcomplicate these things. Let's go to Android documentation and see how does it work in Android. Generally we have a version catalog with 3 items, 3 sections. There will be version, library and plugin. So let's see one by one step how can we use these things and how does it look like. So this is a simple example of Android X Core KTX dependency. So let's see how does it work. So this is the version and this is the name. So it's Android X Core. This is the Android X Core. It is before the semicolon mark, so it's put in a group. And second is the name, that is Core KTX, and third is the version.ref. Ref means it is referred from a variable. It's a reference of a variable. So the KTX is the version variable and we use the reference as KTX. So in here, the first you see a group, then a name and then a version.ref. What does this group mean? So group means there could be several things inside this package. Like Android X Core can have several packages. From that group, you are taking the code.ktx. You can just omit the group, you can remove the group completely and just put androidx.core core-ktx in the name and use the version ref. It will work in the same way. So now how to use in the main Gradle file. So in the main Gradle file, we are calling it using implementation libs.androidx.ktx. So why this? The libs means the libs file and also the libs means the libraries. So we put just the libs.androidx.ktx because in the file name there is androidx-ktx. We put full stop or dot for each of the hyphen. And now let's see how the plugin works. So for the plugin, let's see, the first one is the plugin we put in the builder.title.kts, the top level, and second one in the module. So we can organize this by putting the plugins inside the ID. So for plugins we use ID, and for dependencies we use group and name. So the ID and then the version ref, and the version ref will be the version variable on top. And we refer this by using the alias, then inside the bracket libs.plugin.and.application. So it's a little bigger. So this libs means the library file, and the second plugins means it is the plugins inside the plugins section, and then the Android and application, these are separated by a hyphen. We use a dot between them. So let's go to Android Studio and see how does it work in Android Studio. So you can check what it means by pressing the control and clicking on of the items. So as you can see, I pressed it and it brings me to the Android X Core KTX thing. Let's put it side by side and see how things work over there. So the Android X Core KTX is this Android X Core KTX, and this is separated by hyphen, so you use a full stop, and inside the group we use Android X.core and the name core-KTX. But as I said it before, you can combine these two together, there won't be any issues at all. And the reference is core KTX, that is the version. When you select something, it will automatically highlight inside the TOML file. So how can we add this? Like this, at first glance it seems a little bit tricky and complicated, so why not we just add something? Let's add the Lottie animation dependency. So I copy the Lottie, it is 6.4.0 version, and we're going to add it manually in here as we did before, and then we can change it to the version catalog. So I have my copilot on, so it is prompting something. So now I will replace with the version 6.4.0, and you will see a prompt for the warning. So we can press Alt Enter and change it to version catalog. So click Alt Enter and click replace with new version catalog declaration for Lottie, and it is converted to the version catalog. As you can see, Lottie. So in here the module is com.airbnb.android:Lottie. So for this type of case where the whole line is added together, we need to use the module. I am sorry before if I said the name, so the name is not the proper one. If we use group, then we can use group name version, but if we use a single dependency that is not part of any group, we will use module instead. So module version ref, that is all we need. And we can also use the hard-coded version instead of the version reference. And let's try to sync it, and it's done. So let's try to hard-code this version. Instead of using the reference, we can paste it inside the double quotation and remove the dot ref. So now it is building as well. Let's put it a total build. It will take a little time because it's the first build of this app, and as you can see, it's built successfully. So this is how we use this. We can also use the upgrade option as before. We can simply press Alt Enter in any of the version that is highlighted for upgrade and click enter to just update to the latest version. It will change automatically. So it is all same as before. Just now it will be organized in a simple file. If our app has like multiple modules, so in that case we can use a simple single version TOML file, and all of the version will be here, so you don't need to hard code every single version properly on every module that we have. Everything will be organized properly, and that was the main goal of these things. As you can see in the Android documentation, Gradle version catalog enable you to add and maintain dependencies and plugins in a scalable way. Using Gradle version catalog makes managing dependencies and plugins easier when you have multiple modules. So as I said to you, whenever you have multiple modules, you can reference all of the versions on all of the dependencies from the same file, so you don't need to write the hard-coded part in every single module. So this is all about version catalog. You have learned how to use version catalog, what is it, how does it work and everything. Comment down below if you want me to show you how to migrate to version catalog from an existing project, and I will try to create a short video on how to migrate from existing project to the version catalog. Thank you for watching Tranquilly Coding. See you in the next video.